Hi everyone, it's Bonnie Jeanne, and this is FlossTube 16. Last week I said it was FlossTube 16 and it really wasn't, it was 15. And I really should look up my notes before I say things, and I put the title on, and after I put the title on, I'm not very good at the editing thing. So this is a big week. My sister Jeanette has moved down to our family home. And so now I have two sisters. There's a third one. I don't have four sisters. There's a third one, and she is living in a nearby town close to Cape Cod. So that's great. But it was a very exciting week, and we're gonna have a blast. And I'm gonna be talking about that more in 1 minute. The first thing I want to talk about is not floss tube related, but it is sewing related. So I was cleaning out some stuff looking for different items, and I found the pants that I and my ex-husband were wearing when we met back in 1976. And I'm just going to show you, these are the ones I'm wearing. Look at those bells. Look at that leg. And these were the ones that he was wearing. Look at them. So I'm going to insert a picture that shows the size of the waist. They're wee bitty. I think mine were 24 and his might have been like 28. I mean, they were wee bitty waists, and pictures of my grandchildren wearing these pants. My grandson is wearing my the jeans, and my granddaughter is wearing my pink pants. And I did get permission from their mom and from them before I showed that. And the reason this is related kind of to FlossTube is because where I found these, my kids was like, why did you keep those? And I said, I don't know. And then when the kids were trying them on, I realized the jeans had a broken zipper, and the pink pants, my pants, the seam in the back had given way. They were in the sewing pile. They've been in the sewing basket, the mending basket, for over 40 years. So that's how it relates. But back to FlossTube. So now that my sister is down, I had been talking about my 5 o'clock ink circles. The stitch that I'm working on is called 5 o'clock. And I have been stitching the glasses because I wanted to have us both go to the local areas and have a cocktail that matches one of the ones in the picture. So I'm stitching the glasses so that I can fill in the glasses as we have them. I won't do a lot of, I'll do like 3 or 4 stitches. So this is where I don't think I've gotten much further than I was the last time. I might not have even gotten any further, but it was exciting because she is now here. So it was very exciting for me to, now I can finally start that little project of stitching a couple of stitches, going and having a cocktail that kind of matches the picture, and then making a couple of stitches on the project. So I'm excited about that. And then the next thing I wanted to show you was there is a new, I need another stitch along. There is a new stitch along out, and it's called, and they've been doing it for years. It's run by Colorado Stitcher, and it's called Summer Camp. So it's Summer Camp, Cross Stitch Summer Camp 2023, and I will put all the hashtags down below in the description. But the first prompt for the first month, which is June, is a bird. So this is the one that I chose to do, and this is quoth the Stitcher, I need more. And this is by My Big Toe Designs, and I just happened to have a piece of linen. It's tiny linen. I have no idea why I would have bought this. It is fabric flare, and it's called Pecan. And I'm going to fold it over because, but first of all, that's the size. I mean, what was I thinking? But it worked out perfect because quoth the stitcher is going to fit perfectly on it. And it's the floss is Weeks Dye Works. I think it's called, oh, Fathom. Weeks Dye Work Fathom. And it's a blue. It's a really like deep sea blue. And it's on the brown. I mean, blue and brown. Can't go wrong with that, can you? So I'm really, really, really enjoying stitching this. That is a new purchase. The pattern is a new purchase, and I will talk more about my new treasures at the end of my FlossTube. So back to our regular scheduled work in progress. I joined the Stitch Along Best Bunny Stitch Along, and I decided to do Ink Circles Rabbit series. So I started working on March, and I will show you where I've gotten on that. They are all going to be on the same fabric. And I may not have stitched much more on this since the last time we talked either, but that's where I am. And there's Lucky. Lucky, say hello. The cats don't usually come into the video. He's fine. The bunnies are hard to see, but in real life, they're not that bad. I kind of like how invisible. And each month has got different bunnies, and there's only, I think, 3 months that have white bunnies. I may change up the color. I don't know, but right now I'm enjoying that, and I'll put the Stitch Along hashtag in the description also. And then I also did some work on my Lindy stitches, and this is Turtle Dove, and this is the one that looks like a postage stamp. And the new one is out. I did buy it. I haven't got the pattern yet because it is at my local Needleworks shop, which is a good 2-hour drive from here. And I haven't had a lot of time to go out there. So as soon as I can get out there, I will have that. But this is where I am on my Turtle Dove. And this is on 18 count Aida cloth. For the cross stitch summer camp, one of the prompts, the prompt for August, it makes the summer seem like it goes by so fast because there's only 3 prompts. So it's like, I'm already thinking about August. But for August, it's to stitch on something, to try something new. So 18 count, I think I've always thought would be the smallest cloth I could stitch on, but I might give the next one in this series a try on 20 count Aida. I don't want to do linen. I need to keep it even weave because I know I will go right out of my mind trying to stitch that little tiny stitches on linen. But I think that might be what I'm going to try, is try to do it on, it'll be tiny, but that'll be cute. And then the next thing is the Constant Cat Stitch Along, and my cat that I'm working on currently is Dirty Annie's Perfect. And I just had some purple fabric hanging around, so that's what I used. And this is where I am on Perfect. And as you can see, there's a little bit of white in Perfect because of my cat Lucky. He's a black cat with a little tiny white in him. And I will again try to put a picture of Bailey. I'll try to put a picture of Bailey, insert a picture so you can see him. He's not super, Lucky's more photogenic. He's more likely to want his picture taken. But I'll put a picture of Bailey in there. And then I have one of my favorite stitches ever. This is Garden Sampler. And this is where I am on that. There's a lot of them. I don't think I've stitched as much as I thought I did. So there's where I am on that one. I am thoroughly enjoying, I love this. This is one of my favorite stitches ever, like I said. It's really, I think part of it is because I'm stitching it on Zweigart Vintage Country Mocha. There's a reason why this is like the most popular fabric out there. It's because it's a delight to stitch on. It is an absolute delight. And then I have, so if you can see behind me, you can see my Light for All Seasons. That is a battery operated candle inside there, and I have been working on the Lizzy Kate series, season series, and I might finish spring before June 21st. Fingers crossed. So this is where I am on spring. I think I'm going to try to make that a focus so I can finish this up and then I can get that one. So I'll turn it for spring and it'll stay spring halfway, all the way through summer while I stitch the last one, which is summer. But then all 4 of them will be done and I will have a finally finished project, which will be cool because I haven't had a lot of those lately. I have a feeling that first one I showed you, the quote, the stick, I can't say that, quote, the stitcher. I have a feeling I'm going to finish that in June. That'll be the first time I have ever finished a project in the month that I started it, even in the year that I started it. And then the next 2 are in honor of my mom. I've started both of these on Mother's Day. This is Mare's Eat Oats. And I just stitched, this one is a real slow stitch. It's a lot of border. And I think I stitched like 5 stitches and I'm like, I'm tired of this one. But I think this is going to be a really good winter stitch. So I'll finish that up in the winter. So that's the song that is Mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy, a kid'll eat ivy too, wouldn't you? That was my sister chiming in. And she might chime in on this one too. So this is the other one that I started stitching on Mother's Day in honor of my mom. This is Bushel and a Peck, and they're both by Lottie Da Stitches. And I think it's really cool that both of these favorite songs are by the same designer. I thought that was so cool. And this is where I am. And this is another one that I think will be a slow stitch. It'll be a winter stitch probably. So this is where I am on this one. And this is I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck, a barrel and a heap, and I'm talking in my sleep about you. And my mother would get that note way the heck up there. And then this is the one that I showed 2 weeks ago that I don't think I've stitched anymore. It's going to be a long stitch. My God, this is a detailed stitch. This is Dreaming Daisies. And this is from Rosewood Manor. And they have a gazillion dreaming of, and then a different flower. And I started the daisy one because I found this fabric. I talked about this last week. The title of the fabric is called Crypt Cloth. CRYPT, as in, burial crypt. And I thought, oh, crypt cloth and pushing up daisies? How clever is that? So this is where I am on that. The last time I showed this, I showed it upside down, so it didn't make a whole lot of sense. But the chart, I can't show you the chart because we can't show charts, but it goes on for pages. And it's so complicated to follow. It's just so complicated. And from what I understand, they're all just like that. They're pages, and it's just really hard. But it is a delightful stitch. I am enjoying it. And then I forgot to show this. So I'm going to insert a picture. I read a book about a couple of weeks ago, and it's called Under the Wide and Starry Sky by Nancy Horan, and it's a fictionalized account of Robert Louis Stevenson's marriage to, oh dear God, her name just went right out of my head. Oh, that's awful. But anyway, it's fictionalized, but it was a fantastic read. The author wrote Loving Frank, which is about Frank Lloyd Wright. And I have that one on my wish list. I'd like to read that. But as I was reading the book, I noticed another stitch along called Treasure Island, which is the book that Robert Louis Stevenson wrote. So I will insert a picture of the stitch. I haven't got the fabric yet, so I haven't started it. But I've started finding that a lot of the books that I'm reading, I'm finding cross-stitch patterns that kind of go with the books. And last week I had showed my start on Jane Eyre and by Charlotte Bronte, and Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. And the Scarlet Letter I got because of a book that I read, fictionalized account of his inspiration maybe for the Scarlet Letter. And I will put that information down below in my description. But this is where I am in Jane Eyre. I just got Jane and a little bit of the E, and I always panic, and I shouldn't. I always panic that I'm not gonna have enough fabric. So like I'll stitch like as much. I was afraid I was gonna run out at the bottom. So I'm at the bottom. That's the end there, right there at the end. And look how much fabric I have left. I mean, I don't know why I get myself worked up into this frantic thing. But this fabric is called Dirty Teacup, which is like perfect for the literary series because they're all 18th and 19th century, where, you know, tea was a big deal. And I decided I wanted to stitch all of my literary ones on Dirty Teacup. It's by Needle and Flax, and I didn't realize it at the time, but it's like a really sought after fabric, and I don't think she's going to be making anymore. So what I have is all I have. So I'm going to have to find something that's similar to it, that has kind of a story behind it to do the rest of my literary, because I want to continue that. It's the first time I've ever bought fabric that's become like, you know, like a treasure, a real treasure. I mean, it's something that everybody wants. So this is where I am in the Scarlet Letter. As you can see, I've started the A, the you know, the Scarlet Letter that it's written about. So I started that, and I really enjoy that. I love them. I will put pictures because they're digital. I don't have charts to show you, so I'll make sure that I insert a pic. I can't remember if it goes there or there. I always forget. And then 2 weeks ago, I meant to show you this. This is another new start. This was from the spring market in Nashville. So this is Turtle Island. No, it was called Turtle Island. It's now called Vanishing Isle because of some issues with calling it. So the indigenous people use the word Turtle Island to talk about the earth. So they decided to change it to Vanishing Isle. So this is the fabric. I just got a quick little tiny start on it. Can you see the sparkles? It's going to be like that island is floating in the sky, which is very much like another series of books that I'm reading called, that I have read. I am not reading one currently. It's the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett. And it's about a world that's flat. It's a flat disc. And it rides on the top of 4 elephants. And the 4 elephants are standing on a turtle. And they're floating through space. So, again, another literary. But the thing about this fabric is, way back when I first started FlossTube, I talked about projects that I'm not going to finish because they just don't mean anything to me. And this is one of them. This is by, this is like only half of, it's Once Upon a Time. I'll try to remember to put the information. I don't know if it's still available in the description. It's by the Frosted Pumpkin. And it was all little storybook characters. And I was enjoying it at the time. And this goes back probably 15 years, at least 15 years, because I was making it for my granddaughter, who is now 16 years old. So, and I wasn't enjoying it anymore. And, but I decided that when I decided to repurpose it to do it with Vanishing Isle, I decided what I can do is finish up the 6 that you see there. I don't know, there's 8. There's 8 storybooks. I can finish them up and I can use it make it into a project bag. So that won't go to waste. So I'll finish up those. After I finish the Vanishing Isle, I'll finish up those and turn it into a project bag, which would be very cool because all of my project bags are like this, which is fine. I mean, it works, but they're ugly. It'd be nice to have one project bag that's adorable. So that's that. That was the one I forgot to show last week. And as you can see, I did remember this week to have all of the bags open. And then the other one that I didn't show last week that I really love, and I need to get back into rotation because this is one that I actually would love to put. I can't believe this cat. I mean, he's down here messing things up on me. And there he goes again. This is Silver Creek. I love this series. I love anything by Silver Creek samplers. And this is called Lighting the Way. And this is on Silver Fox, and that's all I've gotten done so far. But I really would like to finish this one up, and I actually think I'd like to put this one downstairs in the main part of the house because it is a Cape Cod home. We do have lighthouses. There are lighthouses everywhere, so I think I'd like to finish that. And then working on to another stitch along. This cat is crazy. I'm going to put a picture of the digital pattern where it is right now. This is Greenhouse of Oddities by Lola Crow Cross Stitch, and it's huge. So here we are. And when I had shown you last week, I had just stitched the little frog who is so very poisonous, and then they released. So there's a couple of cactuses. There's going to be an owl up here, and then just Friday they released some more flowers that are coming up down here, bright colors. So I'm going to get some color in here. As usual, I am way far behind, but I don't care. I'll get it done, and I really enjoy it. So that is the greenhouse stitch along. And then in the time that we've been apart in the last 2 weeks, we did have a Fancy Folk stitching, which is with Stitch New England. It's a Zoom. It is full. They're not adding any more people to it. So, but I only stitched this project during the stitch along. So this is Miss Spider by Nora. I always forget her name. Nora Corbett. I always want to say Cobbett. Nora Corbett. So that's Miss Spider. And I am very slowly getting her dress done. So she has a lot of beads. I have all the beads. This will be the first time I've ever done beading. So that should be interesting. But again, I probably won't pick this up until the next monthly meeting. And then before I get on to my new treasures that I've bought, I'm going to show you a very appropriate. So this is Lucy Beam buying Cross Stitch Like I'm Immortal. And I am very much enjoying this stitch. As you can see, I have a feeling I'll be able to finish this one fairly quickly too. I love these colors. I love how they look. There's only 3 colors. I love how they look on this linen. It's gorgeous. So with that, I will show you my I have 4 new purchases. One of them I've already shown you. That was the quote, the stitcher. And then because I started stitching Bailey, my black cat, I decided the next one needs to be Lucky, who you've seen jumping up behind me. And I couldn't find a gray and white fluffy cat pattern. I did look at a lot of different places, and because I was looking, I found all kinds of cat patterns. So I did find this one. It's called Phantom, and I'm going to change the color. The eyes are blue. Lucky's eyes are yellow, so I'm going to change the color of the eyes. And once I do a floss toss on this, I might change some of the colors so that there's more black going on, but it kind of sort of looks like Lucky. So that's going to be a stitch probably for the winter. I probably won't do that. And then while I was looking, I came across this one. I couldn't pass it up. It doesn't look like Lucky, but hissed off. I just think that's hysterical. This is Silver Creek Samplers. The other one, the Phantom one, is, I will put it in the notes, but it is Kitty and Me. She's got a whole series of these wild, like, patchwork kind of kitties. And then this one's really tiny, but God, it's adorable. It is by Little House Needleworks, and it's called Kitty Cottage Sampler. You know how I am. I love alphabets. So this was like perfect. And it's funny because it says, like, it'll go ABC catnip. And then LM, and then it says MYUSE, mouse, my mouse. And then it's O purr. So there's a little plays on cat words in there, which I thought was cute. It's a different take on a sampler. So let me see. I think I did make sure I looked at my notes, and I did touch all bases. So I don't think I'm going to be doing my floss tubes weekly like I used to, but I do want to stay with the every other week. I am inside today. As you can see, it's very gray outside. We had 2 days that we had really, really warm weather, and then all of a sudden 2 days ago, yesterday, it got so cold. Oh my goodness, so cold and gray and wet, which we need. We need the water, but it's very chilly. Last night I had flannel pajamas on. I went to bed, and I don't wear flannel pajamas past February, so it was cold. It was really cold, but it's still Cape Cod, and it's even when it's miserable weather, it's always gorgeous on Cape Cod. So anyway, thank you all. All the notes will be below. If you like my channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, and I am on Instagram. That information's in the details below, and I do post a lot of my cross-stitch progresses on Instagram. So I'll see you all in a couple of weeks, and I hope you enjoy your stitching. Bye!